Hello everyone. Today we are diving into one of the most requested tutorials in the PostgreSQL community, setting up Patroni for PostgreSQL. In this video, I'll guide you through the step-by-step process of setting up Patroni on a CentOS machine. From installing the necessary components to configuring your cluster, I'll cover everything you need to get started. As we work through these steps, I'll switch between the terminal and the notepad to show how to edit machine names, IP addresses, and other configuration details. For convenience, I'll manually run the commands in each of these three machines, but in your environment, you can run everything on one machine and clone it to others, or use parallel screens to execute commands simultaneously across your machines. Before we dive into the setup, let's take a moment to understand the key components that make up the Patroni cluster. One, the Patroni itself. Patroni is an open source tool that manages PostgreSQL HA clusters, ensuring automatic failover and seamless replication. Then you have HAProxy. HAProxy is a load balancer that can be used to distribute incoming traffic across multiple PostgreSQL nodes in a cluster. Then you have Keepalived. It can be used to monitor the health of the PostgreSQL nodes and automatically switch the virtual IP addresses to a healthy node in case of failure. Then you have etcd cluster or etcd. It's a distributed key value store used to manage cluster state and configuration, ensuring consistency across all the nodes. We need three machines in this setup, one primary and two replicas, wherein I will install all the necessary components in all the three machines as and when required. I'll be using three machines, pghelp01, pghelp02 and pghelp03. I'll be installing all the components in all the three machines, and I have another IP which is a VIP that your application will connect to. Let's start with the setup. As I said, I'm going to install all these commands separately in all the three machines, but you can run everything on one machine and clone it to the rest of the machines, or you can use parallel screens in Mobile Extreme to run simultaneously. The machine IPs I have are 231.128, 231.129 and 231.130. The first thing that I need to do is create a PostgreSQL user. So I'm going to create a PostgreSQL user add Postgres, password Postgres, Postgres, Postgres. Do it in the second machine, user add Postgres, password Postgres, Postgres, Postgres. And do it in the third machine, user add Postgres, password Postgres, Postgres, Postgres. I'm not going to do the second step. Set the names for my machines. Currently the machine names are lab01, lab01 and lab01. I'll be renaming them to pghelp01, 02 and 03. For that, the command is hostnamectl set hostname pghelp01. Do it in the first machine, and for the second machine it is 02, and for the third machine it is 03. Reboot your machines. Let's check if the machines are up. Now what I'll do, I'll add these machine details into /etc/hosts file. Open and paste the details. I'm going to use 140 as a VIP. Save. copy, save, copy, save. Next, I'm going to disable the AC Linux in all the 3 machines. After that, I'll enable the ports and then I'll reboot. These are all the ports that are required to set up your Patroni. Once the ports are enabled, I'm going to reboot.
Once the reboot is completed, re-establish the session. First thing to do in the Patron installation process is to install the PostgreSQL 17 in all the 3 machines. As part of the process, first I'll install EPL, extra packages for Enterprise Linux. Once it is done, I'll enable the CRB Code Ready Builder to install the additional packages that are required to install PostgreSQL 17 development tools. I'm going to do that in all the 3 machines. Next, I'll enable the PostgreSQL repository. Again, it is in all the 3 machines. Followed by disabling the PostgreSQL default packages that you get from the operating system. Finally, install PostgreSQL 17.
While the installation is in progress, let me introduce you to my course on PostgreSQL 17 plus AWS RDS database administration. What you'll get out of this course is by the end of this course, you should be able to run your production show on your own, and you should be able to understand 150 plus real-time error messages and learn how to solve them. This is going to be in complete real-time project-oriented mode. Project-oriented mode doesn't mean you do stuff in the virtual machines, but we take a real-time project and we'll try to understand what we do in a real-time project when a project comes up, right from installation to maintaining the database. What are the different aspects or different things that a database administrator does as part of a PostgreSQL database administration. The new batch details and other important information about the course is there in the page that you're seeing on the screen. I'll leave the link to that page in the description.
Installation is completed. Now let us install etcd in all the 3 machines. I'm going to create a repository file to install the etcd. I'm creating it in all the 3 machines now. Copy the content and put it in machine 3, then machine 2 and machine 1. Now run the command dnf install etcd in all the 3 machines. It seems etcd installation is completed. Now I need to create a configuration file. The etcd configuration file has to be created again in all the 3 machines, and the configuration file content will be deferred in all the 3 machines. So the first machine content should look like this. In your environment, make sure that you change the host names, IP addresses, and all that stuff, which are especially marked in red color. Make sure that you edit it correctly in your environments, the machine names, machine IP addresses, and machine names. Copy, put it in your machine 1, and go to the second machine. Take the content from the second machine configuration file, put it here. Do it with this. Do it for the machine 3. Once the configuration files are created, start your etcd in all the 3 machines. Now my etcd has been started in all the 3 machines. I'm going to create a bash profile. That has information about etcd tool. Have to do it on all the 3 machines. Now run the command etcd-ctl to see the etcd cluster information. I'm going to run it in the first machine. When I run it in the first machine, I got 3 machines that are part of my etcd cluster. 128, which is the leader, 129 and 130, which are following the leader. Run the same command in the second and the third machines. You should see the same output. Now to check if your etcd cluster has been successfully created or not, you have to stop your etcd which is running in node 1, so that the leadership will be transferred to either node 2 or node 3. So I'm going to stop my etcd in my machine 1. The expected output is, or the expected thing is, either 129 or 130 should become the leader. Now check it. Uh, 129 has become the leader now. And 130 is part of my etcd cluster. 128, since it is down, it is not showing up in the cluster output. Only 129 and 130 are showing up. Now if I start my first machine etcd, it should join my etcd cluster. I've started it. Let me check if it is joined my etcd cluster. It is joined my etcd cluster. This ensures that my etcd has been successfully configured for Patroni. Next, install Keepalived in all the 3 machines. The command to install Keepalived is dnf install Keepalived. Run it in all the 3 machines. Once the Keepalived is installed successfully, you have to prepare your machine for the Keepalived configurations. Follow the steps mentioned in the documentation or in the web page and prepare your machines accordingly. Once it is done, get your interface name. Here in my case, the interface name is ENS33. You have to use that interface name in your configuration file for Keepalived. Create a configuration file in all the 3 machines and copy the content that is shown here. Here the only thing that you need to modify is the IP address of your virtual IP. The rest of the things remains the same. So replace the virtual IP address in this configuration file with the IP address that you have in your local machine, in your local environment. The configuration file will be slightly different for machine 1 and machine 2 and machine 3. So ensure that you have the correct configuration files copied to your machine 1, machine 2 and machine 3. Once it is done, you just start your Keepalived in all the 3 machines. Starting in machine 1, machine 2 and machine 3. To check if your configuration is successfully created or not, just check IP address show ENS33, that means your interface name. You should see 2 IPs. One is the machine IP, the second one is the VIP that you have configured. That should not show up in the second and the third machines. It should only show up in one machine. Now since it is showing up in the first machine, I will be stopping my Keepalived in machine 1. If you do that, that 140 has to be moved to either the machine 2 or machine 3. Now check again if the IP address is there here or not. It is not there here. Check if 140 came to node 2. It has not come up. That means it should come up to machine 3. Yeah, 140 has came in machine 3. Start your Keepalived in machine 1 again. Once it is done, install HAProxy. The process remains same. Install HAProxy in all the 3 machines and then create configuration file and write the content to the configuration file in all the 3 machines. I am installing HAProxy in 3 machines. Now create a configuration file. HAProxy configuration file remains the same across the machines. So make sure that you edit the IP addresses and machine names accordingly as per your environment, and then copy this content to all the 3 machines. Copy, paste, save, and go to the second machine, paste the same, and go to the third machine, paste the same. Once it is done, you just start your HAProxy. The final step in Patroni configuration is installing the Patroni itself. So install the Patroni. Again, have to do it in all the 3 machines. Once the Patroni is installed, install Patroni etcd. Do it in all the 3 machines. And then install Watchdog in all the 3 machines. Check if your Patroni is installed successfully or not with patronictl -help. This confirms that my Patroni has been successfully installed. Once the software is installed, you need to create configuration files in all the 3 machines. So I am creating configuration file in machine 1, then machine 2 and machine 3. Copy paste the content that is there here in all the 3 machines. Ensure that you have your appropriate IP addresses and machine names as per your environment. So I'm copying it for my machine 1, in machine 1, second machine to second machine, third machine to third machine. Once the configuration file is created, I need to prepare a watchdog or set up the watchdog in all the 3 machines. Once the watchdog configuration is done, I just need to create a folder where I want to put my data directory. Here I wanted to put my data directory in U01, hence I'm creating a folder U01 and making Postgres as a owner for that U01 folder. My data directory is going to be U01 PGSQL 17. I'm done with configurations for all the 3 machines. So the last step is just to start the Patroni in all the 3 machines one by one. Here what we are doing is we wanted to understand what happens when you start your Patroni in machine 1. So I'm going to open my alert log file. This is where log messages. Now start your Patroni in machine 1. When you start your Patroni in machine 1, it is going to create a folder. It is going to create your data directory in U01 PGSQL 17. This log shows that the folder has been created and the data directory has been configured. Once it is done, using Patroni.ctl, check if the configuration has been successfully created or not. Now, in my Patroni cluster, there is a node 128 which is acting as a leader. I'm going to switch to second machine. And I'll also see the log in the second machine. Now start Patroni in the second machine. Since the second machine is not the leader, it has to get the data from the primary and add the second machine as a standby or a replica to your Patroni cluster. When you see the log in the second machine, you're seeing something like replica has been created using base backup, which means it has taken the backup of your machine 1 and replica has been configured accordingly. The alert log also says that I am second machine and I am following the machine 1. Start your Patroni in the third machine as well. We are not going to see the log. The log remains the same as second machine. Once the Patroni has been configured or started in all the 3 machines, just check the Patroni.ctl current status or your cluster current status. It says you have pghelp01 the primary and pghelp02 and 03 are the replicas. We'll do a simple test to check whether the configuration has been successfully created and my automatic switchover has been successfully happening or not. For that, I am going to connect to my primary host. Here I'm going to use the IP address as 140, which is my VIP, and the port as 5000, which is read-write port. When you are connected, just create a table. It should successfully allow you to create a table because you have connected to read-write machine. Now I am going to insert a simple record. It should work. So I have successfully configured, successfully connected to my primary and inserted a record. Now I'm connecting to 5001, which is my replica. My replica has been successfully captured the record which I have created in the primary. When I try to delete it, it should not work because I have connected to my replica. Now we are going to test the Patroni configuration with a simple Python script. I have a Python script which will connect to either machine 1 or primary or my standbys. When it connects to primary, it will insert the data. When it connects to the replicas, it will read the data. I'm going to create the script. Here, when I execute the script using the port 5000, it will connect to my primary and insert the data. Here in this case, it has to connect to 130 or pghelp03 and insert the data continuously. Now run the command. It is now connected to 130 and inserting the data continuously. What happens if Patroni, or what happens if the Postgres running in pghelp03 is down? The intended behavior is an automatic failover, which means your Patroni has to take care of failing over to pghelp01 or 02, and the application should connect to the current leader automatically. Now what I am going to do is to connect to the machine 3, that means pghelp03. Now I am going to stop my Patroni. Current leader is pghelp03 where my application is connected to. When I stop it, the application should redirect to the new leader and automatic failover should happen. I've stopped it. The current leader is pghelp02, and in the first screen you could see that there is a connection failure. This is during your failover activity. So it's been 3 seconds and then my application is automatically connected to 129, which means the new leader, and it is continuously inserting the data. So the automatic failover happened, and at the same time my application could able to successfully connect it to the new leader. So this is how the Patroni work. When I connect to 5001, which means my replicas, so the load balancing is happening automatically. So it is connecting to 128 and 130 So the one connection is going to 128, the other connection is going to 130. If you stop either 128 or 130, all the connections will go to one machine only. So I have stopped here the 130. Now all the connections are going to 128. So both the connections have gone to 128. What if I start it again? Your pghelp03 will join the cluster automatically, and the application could recognize it, and the connections will go to both the machines now. As you can see, both 128 and 130 are getting the data or getting the connections. The final test that we can do here is we'll just try to do a manual switchover while the application is connected to my primary. So I've connected to port 5000, and now my application is connected to 129, which is my primary. Now what I'll do, I'll try to do a switchover while the application is connected. So I'll connect it to, I'll use the command Patroni HA switchover. Here my primary is pghelp02, okay, standby is 03. I wanted to make pghelp03 as the primary. Now you can see my 130 has become the primary. That's it from my side for Patroni in this video, and we have a lot more things to do in the Patroni, right from modifying the configuration values for the Postgres to adding a Patroni node and deleting a Patroni node, upgrading Patroni, and so on. We'll do all these things in upcoming videos. Thank you.